What's up guys, I'm the SNES Geek. So to let you guys know something, I put together this review in about half an hour. I had this game on my PC, it was so easy to turn off, so I was like, yeah, you know what, why not just do another quick episode like this, to let you know. Alright, cue the intro!
It's time. I'm back.
What's up guys, I'm the SNES Geek and welcome to the SNES Geek Show. So what happens when you take racing, you take PC gaming, and you take Sweden, you take marketing, you put all of these things together and together you get Pickup Express for the PC. Yes, this was a game which was released back in 2000 as a mean to market Swedish products. Yes. Marketing in games nowadays is very subtle and it's more or less meant to blend into the background with a few exceptions. But no, this game is marketing a true genuine face. And so after everything being set up, you are then starting out at the very course that you chose. And the first task and only task is to find this newspaper. And when you find this newspaper, you will be able to know where everything is and where you're supposed to go. Now that doesn't really matter because you have an arrow pointing you where to go, kind of like Crazy Taxi. And the objective of this game is to collect items and deliver them to a very specific location. Now the objects vary, but it seems to be like 4 different ones. We have a film camera, we have a television, we have shoes, and we have a VHS tape, as well as a few food products. This game is actually very simplistic. There ain't much to really say about it. What you see is what you get. You use the arrow keys to actually. Well, surprisingly enough, that's the only thing that you are using. There is no such thing as like a boost button. You are simply just boosting up with the arrow keys on your keyboard. And then you're simply just racing around in the city or wherever you may be, collecting items, delivering stuff. As you can see, you are pretty much really secluded in this very area. Yeah, this is the land of skyboxes, where you were basically stuck here forever. You can never escape. Now this was common practice at the time, back in the early 2000s. See, this was at a time before like big endless open worlds was a few years after. This was before games like Shadow Colossus and GTA 4. So having a game with a skybox like this, well, that was common practice at the time. But that just meant you had to do a lot more in the games that you actually did had. So that is why I find this game to be a somewhat fun. It's very simple, like I said, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. You can bump into cars. You can bump into cars. You can like put them down slightly bit, which doesn't really matter because they don't really be affected in the slightest. So, like I said, there's an arrow on the screen that you are supposed to follow. Follow it, pick up the object, and place it. And whenever time is beginning to show, or at least the meter down here, which are the ones that you need to keep track of, especially that one, you actually have to go and refuel your tank. And you get points. I think that's 250 or 200 points for every object that you collect. But whenever you are actually refilling your tank, you are actually losing points. And so depending on how well you actually, and so depending on when you tank or however environmentally friendly you are actually driving, well, you get more points. Yeah, this actually has environmentalism included as a part of the game. Now it's not really that important. This is all just a high score based game. There ain't no world engine plot to say the least. But this is a game which doesn't need it. It's just straight up simple arcade fun. And if that is something that tickles your fancy, well, there's actually a reason for you to actually want to play this game. If you are hoping for something else, well, just look elsewhere. Look wherever you can, except Pickup Express, if you actually want to have some in-depth look about whatever. Fun fact, we actually are at the selection menu of everything. you're actually able to unlock some cars if you actually log into the to a specific website, which you will have to access by accessing the game and then choose enter at the selected cars. However, when I went there and checked it out, well, it didn't really work. So yeah, the link is just more or less as broken. But that's just the interesting thing. It was DLC before it became like what it is today. And that's kind of cool to look back at. But thankfully, it's that those cars are actually completely optional. You don't have to unlock them. You don't have to unlock them as part of the main quest. You just simply choose whatever car you want to drive around with. Like I said, this is marketing at its finest. And that's actually interesting because there's like a lot of marketing behind Toyota cars. Yeah, you know, one of these. That's what this entire game is based around. A few Toyota cars which you have to drive around and pick up things and leave them off, and pick up things and leave them off. Honestly, like I said, Pickup Express is actually not a very bad game. It's very simplistic, it's really short. But honestly, just high score based games really does have a place in gaming. It may even have a place in your heart. And you know, with the limited graphics, the skybox, the sound polygon, a really flat world, it's just a very charming game to look back at. Like nowadays, whenever a new game comes out, it has to be as big, as expensive as it can possibly be. Whereas games like this actually have limitations. There's just something charming about it. Of course, like most games of this era, this is one of those games that hasn't really gained any traction whatsoever. It has gained a few followers, but it hasn't really been enough to actually make it stand out amongst the crowd. There ain't a huge Pickup Express fan base, which is kind of sad. I think there was a Pickup Express too, but I'm not really sure. But maybe some of you can actually tell me. So like I said, if you want simple arcade fun, driving around, delivering products to different places, crazy taxi style, then yeah, this is the game for you. So yeah, this has been the SNES Geek, and I will see you next time. Bye!